work, and this elder woman, was walking past, and she was just like, "Where's everyone at?" Like, literally, there was no one in the office. She's like, "Where's everyone at? Like, there's only you and like another girl here. Where's everybody at?" And I'm like, some people just left, but there's no one here. And she was just like, "Man, that's so crazy." And she was like, you want to know why you're always here? Because I be watching you." She said, "You want to know why you're always here? Because you be eating healthy." She said, "Yes, I be watching you." And she was like, "You be keeping your immune system up." And she's like, "I be trying to eat healthy myself, but you onto something." And when she said that, I was just so like, work for me is boring. I spend the majority of my work experience learning Spanish, or just scrolling the internet on YouTube looking for things to like watch, learn. And so hearing that was it was like a breath of fresh air, because one, it showed me that you never know who's watching you, and so the power of influence, but also just how what you put in your mouth, how it is so revolutionary, and how it impacts the way that you live. Because I was trying to show y'all a more but it's revolutionary in that what you put in your body can really be either a blessing or a detriment to how you show up in this world. And I just think about it like, dang, when I was eating unhealthy, or when I wasn't conscious of what it was I've always been conscious of what I put in my body, but when I chose to put things in my body that made me feel negative, that were a subtraction to my well-being, I would have to call into work. I would get headaches. I would have severe stomach pains. And for my old friends who knew me, they would always laugh, and they'd be like, "Christina, your stomach's always hurt." My stomach used to always hurt, and I would always complain about my stomach hurting, and I just thought it was a normal way of life for me at the time. I would call off work. I would miss school. I would miss class. I would just not be able to live. I wasn't able to live a life and like fully enjoy my life because of what I was putting in my body, because of the health of the food, the nutritional value of the food. And so once I started to change what it was that I ate, one thing that I noticed, if we're speaking on like health and wellness and things of that nature, and excuse me guys, like it's like the end of the day, so I'm like, if I'm looking everywhere, like I just really wanted to share this and like really get this off of my heart, because if not, it's not gonna happen for me. So, and I'm like still like figuring out where to look on this camera thing. So anyways, but once I started transitioning and changing the way that I eat, the first thing that I noticed was how much energy I had, how much mental clarity I had, how I just felt like a better mood. I wasn't as cranky. And that's one thing that I've always like struggled with over just my whole life, is managing my emotions. Like, I have very, very strong, deep emotions, and food affects your mood. I will say that. So, and I'm still learning to master my emotions. So, but anyways, I noticed that my periods were getting lighter, and now they're to the point to where there's no pain. I don't even know when it's coming. It lasts fewer days. It's so much lighter, even more lighter than when I first began this journey. And so, and I feel good on them. Like, it's not like I feel like horrible. I used to feel horrible. I used to dread coming on my period. Like, I would just feel horrible. But now I actually feel like during that time I have more energy, and I feel more aroused too, which is kind of, I don't know, I just want to throw that in there. It's for someone. But yeah, so that's one thing that I noticed. But one thing that I feel just that has been a common theme in my life is feeling like I am invisible. And I want to come on this platform and I want to be as raw and open and vulnerable as possible, because I just feel like there's more room in this world for more real people, more people being open and vulnerable about their human experience. And one thing in my regard, in my life, I felt invisible my entire life. I'm not like my family. I wasn't like the people that I was in school with, like, so I had very, very little friends. And even when I, branched out in the world and got into relationships, I encountered very few people that I felt got me on a deeper level. And even then, I'm just like, I don't ever think that I've met anyone who really understood what it's like to be me, because I feel it's not really for them to understand. It's more so they will never get me because they're not me. Anyways, guys. So, but yeah, I've always felt invisible. And I try to be wary of the things that I tell myself, but at the same time, I have to be honest about my experience and how I've been feeling. And before I even started this like health journey, well, I've always been on this journey, to be completely honest. But once I really started to like dive deeper into like really being like, okay, I'm gonna be vegan, I'm gonna stop eating this stuff. Before that, like I said, I wasn't able to enjoy my life. Like, yes, I had friends. Yes, I can go out. Like, yes, I can go and chill with my friends, and maybe we smoke, or maybe we like drink, or we eat a whole bunch of bull crap. We used to have potlucks all the time, like just cook, go out to eat. I go out to eat with my family, and it was all good. Could just pig out like I want to, y'all. It used to be crazy. I used to go to Texas Roadhouse, y'all. My family, they used to think that I was gonna be on my 600-pound life because of my appetite. I've always had like a really big appetite, but like I used to get like ribs with pulled pork with like another meat, and then I would eat like baskets of bread and just all type of stuff, y'all. And I'm so grateful for that experience because I really enjoyed it. So that was what I had to leave behind once I transitioned to this lifestyle. And I know there are people out here on the internet, and I think that the internet does a really good job at glamorizing things, painting a picture of, oh, if you buy this, then your life can be like this. If you do this, then your life can be like this. And you're just gonna be so sexy and so vibrant and so like, and that's not really the case, because I had to give up a whole culture in transitioning to eating vegan. I had to deal with jokes, people joking on me, people turning their noses up at me, people, and in a sense, I was doing that to people, and it wasn't me turning my nose up as in like, I'm vegan and y'all this, but it was more so of a passion as I was educating myself on what it means to eat the way that I eat. I was becoming like, why are you guys eating this food? Why are you guys doing this to your body? This stuff is not good for you. So I was one of those, but it was never like I'm better than thou or whatever. I just was passionate about what it was I was doing. But it was like, even though I was in pain, I was able to connect with people. I was able to commune with people. And once I transitioned to this lifestyle and have just been evolving and expanding in this way of life for myself, it has been lonely. it has been lonely when I thought that people didn't get me before. Now I'm just like, whoa. And I just even remember being in high school. I remember being in high school and I got some braids. Before everybody started getting the Poetic Justice braids, I got them first in my school. I got them first. And I just remember everybody, well, not everybody, a couple of people were talking about my braids. And literally a whole semester, like a whole semester, summer went by. And when we came back to school, everybody had them braids. And I'm like, dang, why did I have to go through being the one to get joked on for my braids and then come back and everybody got the same braids that I had? Like, and then when I cut my hair off and went natural, I got the jokes for that. I went to a historically black high school, but no other girls at the historically black high school wore their natural. I mean, if they were like mixed and they had like loose curls, they would wear their natural hair and stuff like that. But like no one with my kinky texture hair was wearing their natural hair. Everybody was getting relaxers or was wearing weaves, you know, or braids or some whatever. And when I went natural, everybody was like, oh, why'd you cut your hair? You don't look right, blah, 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 blah. Summer went by, come back, everybody's going natural. Now everybody's like, oh, what products do you use? And so during that time, my mom was like, you know, Christina, you have to realize you a trendsetter. And when she said that, I was like, okay, you know. She was like, and because of that, it comes with having to go through that experience of like people not really understanding what it is that you're doing. And because they don't understand it, they talk about you, basically. So I've had that experience transitioning to vegan. People talking about me, asking me what type of napkins do I eat? Do I eat the white napkins or do I eat the brown napkins? You know, like all type of questions, thinking I'm gonna die and wither away. Where do you get your protein? All of these different things. Like, oh, I remember one of my ex's moms had told me, Christina, you're getting real skinny and nobody wants an olive oil. And I was just like, dang. I mean, I knew I was skinny, but I didn't know I was like olive oil Popeye skinny. Like, and it just made me feel away. And I just remember I would go back to eating meat just so I can gain weight, just so that that's a whole different story in itself, y'all. But I really had to overcome all of those challenges to be where I am now. So this journey is not an easy journey. Changing your life, changing what you eat is so radical because there's a whole system built on people being unhealthy. And when everything is said and done, when you are evolving in age, it is even more crucial and vital that you start to take care of your body and what you put in it because, yo, there are people my age who are suffering from bodily related issues. You know, there are people who are my age. I'm 25. There are people who are my age that can't function, that can't run, they can't jump, they can't lift their arms past, like they can't do that, like they can't, or they're suffering, they're in pain, they're inflamed, have mood disorders, have mental health issues, and refuse to do something as change the way that they eat. And I'm so passionate about it because I know the power of it. I was where those people were just some years ago. And like I said, this journey, it gets lonely because I think about what people reflect and what people represent. And when you are someone who is reflecting health, health is a truth. Health is a birthright. It is our birthright to be healthy, happy. It is our birthright. And so when you reflect health, when you reflect the truth, People don't like the truth. People want things sugar coated. People want things all soft and sweet and talk to me nice or don't talk to me at all. That's how people like it. People don't want the truth. And so sometimes I feel rejected because of my lifestyle. Sometimes I feel it's just my being, period. The way that I think, the way that I speak, the way that I carry myself, the way that I care about others. People don't vibe with it, and it's hard being around people and just feeling like, dang, how did I show up here in this environment? How did I pop up out? But they're, like, as I stated in the beginning of this video, you never know who's watching. You never know the impact that you're making on someone's life. And even if people are not saying it or speaking it, even if they're not taking heed to what it is that you're doing, what you're reflecting back to them, just your mere presence is changing them on a cellular level. It's elevating them. My mom used to always say, birds of a feather flock together. And, you are who you hang around. And it was said in a way to, like, keep me from, like, being around people who were deemed negative or just not conducive for my overall growth. But in this sense, I'm using it in the sense of birds of a feather flock together. So yes, if I am around people who are quote unquote unhealthy, my presence is elevating them, whether they want to admit it or not. And so I'm grateful for that, because to be honest, I feel like we're all like children. 1 minute, like my niece the other day, she was mad at me. She was mad at me for whatever reason. And we had made a song up, and she was like, after she, when she was mad at me, she was like, Tink Tink, I'm not singing my song with you no more. You're not gonna be on my song anymore. And I was like, okay. And she just shut the door. And then she opened up the door like maybe 5 minutes later, and she was like, I was just playing. We could sing together. And so that's how I feel the world is, how adults are. It's like we're big children, and sometimes we just don't acknowledge. I forgot where I was even going with this. Where was I going with that? I hope you guys get what I'm saying. I really have just been thinking about the type of content that I want to post and how I want to show up to this platform and things of that nature. And at first I was just thinking about having clean cut videos, but that's not me. I'm not able to go off like I usually do, and I just feel like it's not raw, it's not real, it's just not me, and I just can't stand to not be myself. I can't stand to try to put on a face or a persona or create like an image to get people to watch my videos. It's the people who resonate with me are gonna resonate with me, and that's all that matters. That's the people that I want to be here anyways. People who see me, resonate with what I share. That's it. But yeah, I don't think we ever lose that childlike nature within us to get over things. I definitely feel like life experience has definitely maybe hindered us in a way to where it may take a little longer for us to get over certain things. But I feel that sometimes pride can get in the way of making changes, of accepting the help of another, of admitting that what I've been doing, what I've been putting in my body, what I've been allowing myself to do, to be around, to consume, whatever, it has not been working for me. But yeah, I don't even know how I got on this topic, y'all. So yeah, I just want to be really honest and open. And one thing, I'm the only person in my family that eats this way that I know of. And I can't even connect with my family, y'all, because it's like people want to go out and drink and party. And I don't want to do those things. People want to talk about other people, and I don't want to do those things. And it's not even that because to be honest, y'all, like sometimes I hate that I'm so open sometimes. Sometimes I hate that it's hard for me to say no. Like, and so it's not even that they even ask me. Because I feel like if people ask me, then I might say yes. But like, even when I don't want to say no, it's not even like I don't want to say no. I'm just so quick to say yes. And so, but what I've noticed is that whether I say yes or no, it's like nothing happens. And so people tend to go to where people feel comfortable. And so for someone venting to me, it may not be comfortable because I'm not going to do it back. So it's like almost like talking to a brick wall, you know, like going to a restaurant is not going to be fun with me because there's nothing there that I can eat. Doing certain things, like there's just certain things in society that I just don't do because I'm not that person anymore. And I think that's the hardest thing, is to like literally have to let go of a whole identity, a whole character, and just for real, it feels like my whole life is just falling apart. But, well, that's how it felt before. It felt like my whole life was falling apart. Now I feel that I'm building my new life, or not even building my new life, but like it's an evolution that's happening because I still embrace all of who I was. I enjoy all of those experiences that I had. Like at one point I enjoyed gossip. I enjoy going out. I enjoy drinking. I was like the biggest drinker. Like, ask anybody. I was party girl. I enjoyed my experiences, and I'm so grateful for it. But having to transition out, it was hard because some people don't make it out. You know, some people just stay in a certain place, and that's cool and fine as long as they're enjoying their experiences. But I just had to, again, this journey for me has been more of a revolution. I feel I've always been this way, but there has been events that have happened in my life that have made what I do even more, what's the word? Prominent, vital? I don't know why I can't think of a word. It's just put me in a position to where I have no other choice but to live the life that I live. And it's almost like I'm fighting for my life. Because seeing people around me die, seeing people around me sick, immobilized, not being able to live their life to the fullest, has pushed me and sparked me and given me so much passion and so much power in regard to making this lifestyle a thing for me, because I literally see with my own two eyes where these different roads and pathways can lead me through what is being reflected by another. And just even thinking about genetic predispositions, and I mean, my grandmother transitioned from cancer. My grandfather transitioned from liver issues. I don't know. But both of them transitioned early in life. I believe both of them transitioned in their 60s. And, like just looking at the genetics, my mom's side and my dad's side, and just throughout my family. And I'm just like, yo, if I don't get on this shit now, whoa, this is where like I'm headed. This is the trajectory. This is what I'm going to succumb to if I don't take my life, take the wheel. If I don't take the wheel of my own life, this is what is possible for me. And I did not want that. I didn't want that. And so I am comfortable being the only one. I am comfortable at this point of people joking. And I mean, since I've been on my journey for so long, people don't joke. People know what's up. People know the truth. People know that they should eat healthy. They see it in me. They see my energy. They see the way I talk, the way that I walk, the way that I carry myself. They feel my energy. It's a difference. Y'all, it's a difference when people are talking the talk, walking the walk, whatever. When you feel somebody's energy never lies. It never lies. So they know at this point, but now it's a matter of just putting the pride to the side and having that will and that desire and that drive within themselves to want to make that change, because now it's almost as if they're living vicariously through me. And it's like, I can't live your life for you. I can't make the changes for you. I can't drink the juice for you. I can't work out for you. I can't meditate for you. You have to do that yourself. And some people are just so stuck in their habits. And this is not to judge or bash anyone. It's just to put it out there, say it like it is. People be so stuck in their habits that they don't even care to change. They're okay with suffering and dealing with pain and going to the doctor and getting on different medications and taking that route versus taking the necessary steps to change their lifestyle. And I get it, because when you do that, there's a part of you that has to die. That part of you that is hanging on to the drugs, the alcohol, the toxic foods, the toxic media, all of those things, those parts of you literally have to die. And that is scary. It's really, really scary. So this lifestyle, being healthy in this type of world, is not easy. So I commend anyone who is on their journey of health, well-being, longevity, preservation. That is what I'm learning, to master the art of preservation. And I commend people on that journey, because it's not easy. And I know social media markets things in a way that make it seem like it's all easy, but it's really not. And this is not a fad, it's a revolution, because food alters the way that you think, your mind. And we wonder why so many people have mental issues. And I mean, I know my body, I've had this body for 25 years. I know my body, the way that I think when I'm eating fruit versus when I'm consuming, for instance, meat, or consuming or when I don't consume meat, y'all. When I was consuming dairy, when I was like, my mental health, it was crappy. It was like a teeter-totter. Like, I've always been a person who's been like more so optimistic. I've always been a person who was very caring and things of that nature and stuff like that. But I have to be alone in my mind, y'all. So even though that's what I was portraying on the outside, y'all, I was going through it mentally. I was going through it. I was going through it. And even now, like, something as simple as eating like a denser meal, like eating dense, eating cooked food. So now I've been transitioning to eating more raw foods, just keeping up with the fruits and the veggies, like for real, for real. It makes a difference in how I feel and what I think. It's just so wild. But yeah, I'm so grateful for that lady who stopped by and said what she said at work. Like, because that's what I do it for. And sometimes I even ask myself, like, why am I here? Why am I here? What's the whole point? There's no one who gets me. Nobody wants to be around me. Why? And then I had that experience with that lady, and I'm just like, yes. It warms my heart. Keep it pushing, Christina. Keep it pushing. You're onto something, and I feel like I don't want this video to sound like I'm venting or like, oh, I'm so lonely, blah, blah, blah. Because to be honest, I'm in a space where I really don't want to, well, I'm not going to say I don't want to, but I'm not going to talk about what I don't want. I'm in a space that I feel is so divine and so aligned with what I came to do on my journey. And I feel that this space has been for me to like really master what it is that I have come to do. And in order for me to master that, I have to spend time alone, perfecting my craft, mastering my craft. So I'm okay with it. Because I know in due time, the gates are going to open, and I'm going to be ready for the people who come, you know. And so that's how I've been thinking about it. So don't take it as me just thinking negatively about it. I just see the bigger picture and what's going on here, you know, because when you are that person in your family, that person in your community that is the only one, when you're that person in your family or community that is the only one, people might not get you now, but they will get you. They will get you. They get you. They see you. But they're just not ready for you. And when I say you, I mean health. When you are a healthy cell in a sea of just unhealthiness, people follow the crowd, you know. But when it's time, they'll come, and it's going to be the perfect timing, because by that time you would have had mastered whatever it is that you have come to do. So you're going to be able to help people in a way that it's going to be beneficial to them, but also it's going to be in a way to where you've cultivated yourself so much that your cup is overflowing. So it's going to feel effortless for you to give yourself, to be of service without feeling drained. So I hope this message was for someone. And I'm happy to be able to get on here and to share and talk about things that I want to talk about, because there's no one in my life that I can really talk to about what it is that, what I'm passionate about, you know, because people don't really care. I don't want to say people. There are people that care, just not in my reality. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me here in this moment. I know this was everywhere, but I feel that you get me. So